Hello. Testing. Oops. Hello. I assume everything's good? Yeah. It has been a while since I streamed this. Things have changed a lot, and now I know I need to talk more. So, oh, excuse me. Uh, yeah, my life has changed a lot since the last episode, the first episode, and I'm trying to reestablish a sense of normalcy, so that's part of the reason why we're back here. And I do want to get through this whole, going through the whole aligned universe thing, so if I can't finish step one, which is this game, that's going to be kind of a problem. Um, in future, I don't know how I'm going to approach the stuff that's not games, whether or not I'll do like watch parties on Discord for the episodes, but then like how do I approach like the books? I'll have to figure it out when it comes to it. I might just do a just chatting stream where I just talk about my feelings on what I've read, as opposed to anything, because I'm pretty sure I can't just like sit there and watch a YouTube video of the audiobook. That would probably not be legal. But yeah, we'll figure it out when we get to it. But in the meantime, so War for Cybertron. What happened last time? In the last episode, the war had already started. Megatron and it was Barricade, the police car, and I don't remember who the other guy was with him in the first mission, but it was a trio of guys. All attacked the satellite because Megatron wanted the dark energon contained within to make himself more powerful. The satellite was being controlled by Starscream, who was therefore sort of the overarching enemy of the first level. But at the very end, when Megatron does get the dark energon, then Starscream's like, "Hey, let me join you guys." And yeah, so he joins up. Jetfire, I think he's called in this version, because he's the guy whose name changes because of the whole Macross, Harmony Gold, Robotech stuff. Jetfire was briefly in the thing, just warning everyone that this is going to be bad, and then flying off to tell, I believe it's Zeta Prime he mentions, who, due to weirdness in the Aligned Universe, is also Sentinel Prime. So Sentinel Zeta Prime officially, but is, I believe, Zeta Prime in the game and Sentinel Prime in the novel. And then Sentinel Zeta Prime is the official full name, because they had to pretend it was all one timeline. So far, what's happened is just Megatron has the Dark Energon, uses it to make big spiky crystals appear and therefore be powerful, and is sending Starscream to do something now that he's joined them. I don't remember what. And that was all level 1. We don't get... I rewatched the VOD, and at no point during the whole thing did they explain what Dark Energon is or where it comes from. So I don't know if the game ever gets into that. I know it's going to be a thing in the show afterwards. So we'll see what details we do get in the game. But yeah, so I'm here. We should probably get started. I did have some problems because all the instructions were for keyboard controls, and I'm using a gamepad. So like figuring out how like the powers, the bonus powers work when they do charge, was a bit awkward at times. I'll see if I get better at it now. So campaign, solo, resume. See ya. Chapter 2, Fuel of War. Megatron commands his newest recruit, Starscream, to activate the long-dormant Energon Bridge on Cybertron. Once activated, he will create more Dark Energon to fuel his war. Oh yeah, Starscream was like, I know how to get more Dark Energon, and this is what's happening. I don't quite remember... I don't know if they explained how this gets more Dark Energon, but we'll figure it out as we go. Uh, Now, when you start the game, you can start at Chapter 1, which I've done, and play through the whole thing chronologically. You can also start at Chapter 6, because the second half of the game, the first half is all Decepticon chapters, where you're playing on the side of the Decepticons, and the second half is Autobot chapters. I'm just going to play it through chronologically, but you can choose to swap back and forth by chapter, or play entirely the Autobot half first, and then the Decepticon half. But, like, the plot line does follow the chapter numbers. So if you want just the story, best to just play it in order. But yeah, here we go. Checkpoint select Kaon Cliffs. Huh. So yeah, we got Starscream, Skywarp, and Thundercracker. The classic trio. Like, his secondary gun is a repair ray, which doesn't seem useful out of multiplayer, unless you really want to rely on the NPC guys. So Skywarp doesn't start with a second weapon. Starscream has Null Ray and Scatter Blaster, so that's cool. So he's got Hover, gains the ability to hover in the air, increase weapon damage, and pushes enemies back to cause damage. Shockwave. Spawns a sentry. Okay. And quickly dash. Whirlwind and nearly invisible. I'll start with having 2 decent guns for Starscream. But I always did love Skywarp's design. His color scheme.
Worthy of the Decepticon name, Starscream and his minions fly to Cybertron. There, they must reconnect the Energon bridge that will enable Megatron to manufacture more Dark Energon and conquer the Autobots once and for all.
Your orders are clear, Starscream. Infiltrate the Cybertron underground and reactivate the Energon bridge. I want that power online.
Megatron, Thundercracker has detected several Autobots up ahead. Jetfire must have warned Zeta Prime and moved to intercept us already.
Enough of your whining. If the Autobots try to stop
Yep, wrong button.
crush them.
Hahaha.
Back to me when you are...
Where was it? Tutorials. Vehicles, jets and tanks. Ascend with C. See?
found the bridge. Megatron out.
Oh, no, damn it. I pressed the wrong button again.
Enough of your whining. If the Autobots try to stop you, crush them. Report back to me when you have found the bridge. Megatron out.
That imbecile thinks I'm expendable. Me?
Okay, here we are.
He'll soon learn never to underestimate Starscream.
Up and down. The very last weapon, the very last buttons I tried. I will say, there's a thing where in Transformers 1 they got Steve Buscemi as Starscream, and I thought he did a pretty good job, and then they busted up his voice and tried to make it all scratchy and Starscreamy. And it was like, haha, look how crazy he sounds now, like the original Starscream in the cartoon. But I'm like, there have been so many just good Starscreams. This guy, he feels like he's like trying a bit because it's a video game. I don't know exactly who's voicing him in the game. It feels like he's putting on a voice, but it doesn't sound terrible. And then you've got Steve Bloom in Prime was really good, and Tom Kenny in Animated is excellent.
Like that puny probe could stop me. Blast them and get on with it.
What is B for security probe? I'll never know.
So easily.
But yeah, there have been so many good Starscream voices that they didn't need to like really hammer in, haha, isn't it crazy that he sounds a little scratchy? And I feel like that's one of my big problems with, like, I don't know. It felt disingenuous compared to just doing the thing straight. Yeah, I had problems with Transformers 1, weirdly. And I know everyone loved it, but I'm just like, It's like, as a movie, it's probably the best movie that Transformers has ever gotten, but I definitely had more fun and more enjoyment out of Rise of the Beasts. And I don't know, now that, like, I have my collection of DVDs and Blu-rays, which, for those of you who don't know me, I make a big effort to collect everything physically when it comes out. And that's easier now when there's so few stuff that do come out physically by comparison to how it used to be. But, like, just finding the frickin', Robots in Disguise DVDs has been difficult. Despite Australia supposedly releasing them all. The ones I need aren't available in the secondary market. But my point I was trying to make is that, like, Transformers 1 came out ages ago on DVD and Blu-ray. And I was like, I should probably get it for completion's sake, and then I just haven't. Especially since it's not supposed to be a prequel to Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts, according to the wiki. That's the stance they've taken, and I'm just like, well, then I just do not care anymore. Oh. I thought I could double jump to transform for some reason. But yeah, that's... I don't know. One has so much stuff that is good. I like... I want to say Tom Hiddleston, but Chris Thor, whatever. God, I know it's Chris something. Why don't I know Chris's name? It was the whole thing. Oops. Wait. Chris. I'm gonna put that to the side for a second. Thor Chris. Oh, I don't know. I like Thor Chris as... Oh, no, not that one.
The Decepticons are planning to reactivate the Energon Bridge. This would grant them access to an unstable energy source powerful enough to jeopardize the entire planet. Any Decepticon activity must be reported immediately, and all Decepticons are to be shot on sight. Zeta Prime out.
That was Zeta.
How boring. I've read more entertaining maintenance reports. Alert!
But yeah, I like Hemsworth. That's right. I like Optimus Chris Hemsworth, but and the guy they got for Megatron, I really like him as that take on Megatron. Even if Megatron and Optimus were once bestest friends, was never a thing I liked.
My neural circuitry is stinging. Getting past this thing is impossible.
Keep looking, you fool. The answer is here somewhere. Idiots, take it offline now.
Was like, I never liked Optimus and Megatron being bestest friends. People say, oh, it's more tragic. And I don't think it needs personal sadness When, like, the whole thing is Megatron's a fucking fascist. Just have them fighting over that. It doesn't need to be Optimus and Megatron being bestest friends forever and now they're fighting. It can just be that there is a army of fascists and an army of non-fascists and they're fighting. Because it's not the Optimus Prime show, it's Transformers. You know, I have a lot of issues with the whole direction. And Aligned, one of the reasons I'm doing this whole thing is that Aligned really mainstreamified a lot of the ideas I don't personally like in Transformers. So I want to explore and see if I can like the stuff they do with it, even if there's a lot of stuff I don't like. But yeah, we'll see. Like, I like those characters as actors, but like between Bumblebee feeling like he was just there because they were obligated to have a funny guy and obligated to have Bumblebee, but not doing anything to make me give a shit about him and make him incredibly not funny. Not liking their take on Elita 1 being, well, we need to have a girl. It's like, the entire Autobots ended up being 3 people. As far as, like, the plot of that movie is concerned. Like, I know they get more people at the end, but it's like, they're just crowd filler. So the entire team is 3 people. Yep, no, nothing down there. And, yeah, everything in that movie felt small. The world felt small. The history was small. Like, the very first Transformers were, like, the equivalent of, like, 50 years ago. I have so many problems with 1. And I wish I didn't, because there's stuff I really want to like that movie. I so much want a Transformers movie where I can just point and say, yeah, that was cool, wasn't it? Just a uniformly agreeable, that was a cool movie. Without having any problems that really mess up the experience for me. But I just had too many. And I feel like that's also how I feel about Aligned a lot. It's like, there's so much production-wise that this is a universe of cool stuff. But I just can't get past the fact that it feels kind of shitty a lot of the time to me. Because it's all the stuff I don't like about Transformers. And I'm talking a lot about 1 instead of the actual game, which is a problem. Oops. Sorry, Thundercracker. More positives. Hey, it's great to have the trio together, you know, the guys who are always together. The reason there are a million Seekers is because there were these 3 guys. And even as a kid who knew nothing about Transformers, when I had those Generation 2 videotapes, Skywarp was the coolest. He had the best color scheme ever, and he could teleport. I don't know if Thundercracker ever had, like, a default power the way that Skywarp does. It's weird Starscream's the leader when his whole thing is just being, like, the shouty, betray guy. But, like, yeah, it's so weird. It's like, I know... I have a vibe of Starscream. I have a vibe of Skywarp. And then Thundercracker is there, because there needs to be 3 guys. But yeah, love the guys. Glad to have them. Personally, I wish they'd get Tom Kenny to voice Starscream more often.
We're not where we need to be, Skywarp.
I remember liking whoever he was in Devastation, but I don't remember that for a while, because I haven't replayed it in forever.
Crude energon is highly Flying this close to it is very dangerous. We should proceed with caution.
Tighten your logic circuits, would you, Thundercracker? It can't be that bad.
Jesus. Oops. It is kind of the weird thing is like these alien war machines made of incredibly strange materials and stuff that the movie, like, remember how the 2000 movie really went on and like you need these super heated super bullets, whatever, they're the ones that like magnesium burn and stuff just to hurt their armor. And it's like, yeah, but also they can be hurt by like steam because it's environmental. I guess it's energon steam. I don't know if that means anything, but it's just a funny contrast of like when you're actually playing these guys, they're not that durable. But yeah, they're hurt by the environment as much as anything else. I gotta wonder, am I supposed to believe that like, not am I supposed to believe, I'm curious if the idea is that Starscream and the others can hover even when they have like Earthjet modes that shouldn't be able to hover, but should be always stuck moving forward. Like, do they have hover modes the same way? Oop, God, I need health. Because I'm pretty sure in Prime, I don't see Starscream hover in place. Because even though by that point he has an Earthjet mode. But we shall see. Health. Excellent. And bullets. Cool. Fully.
We're getting close. The next entrance is just on the far side of this canyon.
Maybe I wasn't paying enough attention so far, but this whole canyon thing doesn't really strike me as anything special as far as level design goes. But there's a ship. There's a ship acting in defense. That's cool.
I can see them for myself, Thundercracker. Enough babbling. Destroy it.
Target the mortars first.
Oh, no, not that one. Where is the...
Make it as crazy as I am.
Just blast it.
Where's the do a flip button? There it is. I knew there was one. Oh, I didn't even know I had a gun. Oh. Yeah, I think I prefer the gun. Yeah, I actually much prefer that. Aha! Mortar's down. Up, upsy dips. Where are they? They're in here? Okay.
Excellent. Now
aerial. So in the first one, we were like fighting security on the actual, on the satellite, but I don't think those counted as Autobots. I'm pretty sure these guys do. Like at this point, we are officially fighting the Autobots as part of the level. Oh,
Enough of this nonsense. We'll bring this annoyance down from the inside.
stupid missiles! Stop being inbound.
Target its power core.
See, this is what makes Transformers cool. Is like transforming and just getting on their ship and being like, oh, no, not that. Nope. Ah, damn it. Always pressing the wrong button. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Yep, definitely on the ship now. Oh. Having no, like, real barrier between I'm off the ship, I'm on the ship, I'm running around, I'm killing guys, it all just being kind of the same. That's what makes Transformers cool. These guys kind of look like a Soundwave in a weird way. I think they're using maybe the same body type, generally.
Close the blast doors and seal the ship. We'll trap them inside.
Orders, Starscream.
Those idiots locked us in here with their power core. Plant that diff pack on it. Unbelievable! These Autobots are dumber than Skyborn.
Perhaps, Starscream. But have you considered the escape route for us?
Try the upper deck. Hurry!
They sealed it off!
Now's our chance. Fly through the hole.
Dumber than Skywarp? How so, you dumb Starscream?
You always do.
See, that was a really cool set piece. They had the ship to defend the thing. They were launching guys. You had to get on the ship. You had to go through the ship. You had to plant an explosive and then fly out of the ship again. That is exactly what makes Transformers an action property that can do cool stuff in a way that, like, would be more difficult in other settings and other properties. And I'm like, yeah. I wish we had more good games like this, because Transformers has so few actual good games. Like, they were making that, what was it, Transformers My brain wants to say Reloaded, the one that had, like, Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi, but done by a cover of it. In that trailer. Reactivated, that's it. And, like, they did that teaser, and everyone was like, oh, cool, what's this? And it even sounded like a cool idea for a concept. And then they were like, it's also going to be a live service game. And everyone, like, boo. And then, apparently, production was a mess, and then it's just cancelled. I'm just like, yeah.
Did you see that?
You mean that creepy-looking thing that just jumped over the side?
Yeah.
Nope, I didn't see anything.
I should have left you two on the station.
Yeah. But, it makes me wonder is, like, are we getting, like, Jurassic Park Survive? Are we getting that Avatar game that's, like, a prequel about, like, an old Avatar during an ice age that's an RPG? It's like, I'd like those stuff, but, like, the problem is when you announce stuff so early on, then you build up hope and excitement. I'm like, there's that Captain America and Black Panther game where you're fighting Nazis. Is like, is that going to come out? Or is that just a teaser that's, like, never going to be fulfilled? How should I ever know?
I think I saw something. You think you saw what?
Silence! It could be an Autobot cloaker. Keep your optics sharp.
Yep,
Destroy it!
there's something. And now it's gone. Oh, here we are. I can't do that way. I'm going to be aggressive.
Feel the power of my wrath! Now get the power back online so we can move on!
But yeah, that's my thinking. It's like, I don't know. I'm worried, especially with all the other stuff going on in the gaming industry lately. I'm worried that, like, stuff isn't going to come out because of all the messes of mismanagement and such. But, you know, at the very least, little alligator. What was it? Little Gator game. Oh, excuse me, I got the burps. Little Gator game is getting an expansion, so that'll be fun. And I do have a backlog of stuff I need to get through, so I guess I'm not going to be out of stuff for a while, but at the same time, I do hope new cool stuff happens. That's not just 5 million seasons of whatever big multiplayer thing I don't play is forever.
There it is, the entrance to the underground.
Another shield generator? These Autobots are getting on my nerves. Bring down those shields!
Does it not lock on?
Weapons ready! Beautiful use of a beautiful weapon.
That didn't work.
There it is, the entrance to the underground.
Another shield generator? These Autobots are getting on my nerves. Bring down those shields!
The wrong button.
None can resist us!
You know, I never really thought about it, but I think Starscream works as a sniper character in personality. Not in the cool and collected way, but in a I don't want to get in close to the action way. I do everything myself.
The battery casing is opening.
Initiating weapon cooling.
Multiple bogeys sighted. Light 'em up.
Up. Ah.
The shield batteries are exposed. If we destroy them, we can lower the shield.
Fall so easily.
Say you're a decent shot.
Choke on my exhaust.
Wait! Scans show high-density Ubarium shielding on that door.
I don't care. Focus all firepower on their pathetic door. Move, Decepticons! Into the tunnels! We have a bridge to activate!
This place gives me the creeps.
These tunnels were decommissioned long ago. We'll have to activate the power terminals to get the station back online.
Incoming! Take cover! Wait! That's not Autobot weaponry. Interesting. I've never seen these life forms before.
Who cares? If they get in my way, blast them!
Now, I'm pretty sure there are no, like, big... Oh, wow. I'm pretty sure there are no big collectibles I need to worry about that aren't, like... There's nothing lore-wise. In the second game, I know there are, like, diary entries, so I'll make an effort to collect those in that game, but in this game, it's all, unlocks from multiplayer, so I'm not gonna worry about it. Can't open those. Thundercracker, slow down. I think. Ooh. Big, like, refinery core thing?
Just as I told you, the Energon Bridge terminal. Find a way inside and activate it.
I thought this place was deserted.
We must have tripped the station's automated defenses. Open fire! For glory!
And I'm inside. Like, this is the thing about level design. It's all big, cool machines, but so much of it is meaningless. It's not like the kind of thing where they kind of know what all of it's for. It's just like a big area of empty nothingness because it's all made up. Which, yeah, it doesn't need to actually function, but it feels so little like a place that, like, oh dear, I think I hit an explosive barrel. But it feels so much like not a real place that I have no investment in exploring it. Like, the weird thing is, like, that's kind of why I love Remedy games so much, is like everything feels like a real place. I love it, Alan Wake, because I get to explore what feels like an actual small town in the surrounding countryside. They're like, okay, you're driving on a road, there will be little places you can stop along the way just because that makes sense. And that maybe there'll be some stuff in it to make it worthwhile. But it's just, yeah, there's truck stops and old barns and just places. It feels like an actual place. Whereas here, it's a big sci-fi thing that does big sci-fi stuff, and that's the nitty and gritty of it. That's the long and short. There's nothing else. And it's like, okay. But I'm not invested in, like, seeing it, because it's just a lot of greebly noise. And that's the problem with this kind of design structure. Like, I would like if they put investment and said, okay, here is a place Autobots would have to live and work and stuff, so We give them little cubicles or... Oh, wrong button. We give them cubicles of where they work, or we give them... I got those ones, okay. Either cubicles of where they work, or here's bedrooms, or here's a big mess hall, here's, you know, the loading dock, which would therefore be right next to where this or whatever. And I'm just like, that would all feel nice, but we don't get that kind of design thought because who cares? It's just a big sci-fi area full of machines, and that's it. And I'm not saying they're incorrect in how this stuff would look, because, I don't know, maybe they are perfectly correct. Oh, damn it. How'd I run out of ammo so fast? But it just doesn't make an interesting, like, place to explore. I'm really hampering this, I guess, but it is how I feel. Oh, God, they just keep coming, don't they?
Detecting Autobot energy signatures.
More fools rush to their death! Destroy them!
Incoming rocket attack. Starscream, report!
Megatron! We are encountering significant Autobot resistance, but
I will not suffer excuses. Do not fail me. You really told him, Starscream.
silence! The Decepticons will be mine to control. Megatron will serve me.
Whatever you say, Starscream.
I like how Starscream joined the Decepticons, like, today, and he's already like, I'm sick of Megatron. Because, yeah, that's the weird thing about it is this game is simultaneously like, here's the backstory, but also it's right before the cartoon starts in a weird way. Because, as we learn later in the game, they're already getting the arc ready pretty much, and like, everything you've ever known about Transformers happens right at the smack end of a war that's supposedly been going on for millions of years. Like, very end point is where everything just sort of comes together. Wait, what am I... Oh, there's another thing to push that I guess does stuff. But yeah. I feel like I'm distracted today, I'm sorry. Okay.
Station is only showing power levels of 50%. There must be another terminal deeper underground.
So we're still activating this bridge thing? Because the bridge will somehow get us more Dark Energon, is my understanding.
I'm reading Autobot energy signatures overhead. I do enjoy sniping.
Afraid to take them head on, Skywarp?
Wings pulled in.
Ah. See, I'm barely paying attention, you guys. You guys need to try harder. Oh, yeah, nope. Ah, fuck.
Nothing will stop me! Blast those locks!
Fine, do what you want.
All right. This station seems to funnel power directly to the Energon Bridge.
Those are the Energon Bridge's power control panels.
Now leave them to it, I guess.
Wow, Starscream. That was impressive.
Silence, fool! We need to supply these side terminals with their Energon power cells.
Looks like the Autobots have locked these power cells down.
Quickly, destroy the locks!
What happened now?
The Autobots have booby-trapped this room. Fools!
Wait, are you calling us fools or the Autobots fools? Because I'm not getting a sense that you respect me.
Silence! Fool!
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Up. And there's a line that goes this way. And then... Ah, here we are.
This is almost too easy. Quickly, find the other power terminals.
And...
Now keep looking. There should be just one more. Energy barriers are 100% offline. Right! Now, get these power cells into position.
So many steps on this one. Oh, my arm is killing me. Now what?
The side
terminals are showing power levels of maximum.
We are but one click away from activating the full power of the Energon Bridge.
Activate the Energon Bridge.
Did it! Look at all that power flowing! Onward, Decepticons!
I am detecting an unknown energy signature nearby, off the scale.
Then we're close. The Energon Bridge must be nearby. The device must be inside that machine. Plant a dark Energon jetpack on its power cable to activate it.
My scans indicate that.
I've had enough of your readings. Use Dark Energon and corrupt the machine.
You just already have jetpacks now?
Whoa! What's happening?
Precisely what I was afraid of. Cybertron is trying to purge itself of contamination.
What contamination?
He means us, you idiot. Quit blabbing and destroy this nuisance.
Okay, so. Oh.
Evade those beams.
Move, move, move!
Yep.
The machine is vulnerable. Focus your fire on the core.
Okay, down, I think.
Are we even hurting this thing?
Not with your pathetic aim. Focus fire on those guns.
Starscream, what is taking so long?
Just a slight delay.
I'm beginning to question your ability to deliver, Starscream. Do not disappoint me! What is it doing now?
Who cares? Just be ready for it.
Evasive maneuvers.
Oh no, I have to be in the air. Who would have expected that? That's a weird machine, whatever it is. Up, up. So it's like making the magma fly at me? Cool. It's a lava bender. Up. Aha. Guns or core? Ma. Cool.
Wait! Something's happening!
Yes! It's crumbling before the might of Starscream! To the surface, Decepticons!
The machine is out of control!
It must be a side effect of the Dark Energon!
Oh dear. No, our hubris! Who could have seen this coming?
We've got it! The Energon Bridge is activating! Incredible! The Energon Bridge is active once more.
Quiet! You're ruining my moment of glory! Soon, my orbital station will be at full power!
Your orbital station, Starscream. Surely you mean mine. I see you have finally succeeded in the simple task I gave you. Perhaps you're not as worthless as I thought. Report back to base at once.
Okay, so we power up the station, and that's how we get more Dark Energon. I don't know if they explained that last time, and I just completely forgot.
Manufacturing at optimal efficiency.
Now I can introduce Dark Energon into the planet's core. And as it spreads throughout Cybertron, my power shall travel with it.
Entrance to the planet core is heavily shielded behind the Omega Gate.
I will acquire the key. We launch a full-scale assault on Iacon immediately. And wipe Zeta Prime and his pathetic Autobots off the face of the planet.
Battle of Iacon. Okay. Iacon destroyed. Iacon, home of the Autobots, must fall. Megatron commands his Decepticons to attack Iacon in search of the fabled Omega Key, which will give him access to the core of Cybertron itself. Okay, yeah. So, the thing is, like, my brain likes, like, fictional, likes seeing how fictional things structured, resemble real things. There's a weird way of putting it, but, like, I like fictional machines that look like they could work, just because of thought putting into, like, how all the pieces go together. I like video game levels that are designed to look like real places you could actually explore, where, like, for example, they put in 1 million bathrooms in Control, despite the fact that you never need to go to a bathroom in Control, basically. But it's just, there are bathrooms because, of course, there would be bathrooms. And I like fictional histories, and as part of that, I like fictional battles when they make, like, sense as, like, an actual military thing. So having, like, a big... They're invading and attacking, like, basically the Autobot capital. This is potential to be very cool, and I want to see how that all comes together. A big ground battle on Cybertron at like a specific known in-lore location, where with a very specific goal, they want to, like, take over the city in able to find the key. Okay. There are a lot of keys in Transformers. There's the... Was it the Transwarp key was in Rise of the Beasts, I believe? There's the key to Vector Sigma. There's all kinds of keys, and in this case, it's the Omega Key, which locks off the core of the planet, I guess. So yeah, let's see how it goes. And who do we play as? So we got Megatron, so that's a good one. Soundwave, Breakdown. Ooh. So Soundwave looks like he's the healer class, or scientist, I guess. I see that they've got the classes. I like Siphoning Health, and Hover I'll probably only hit by accident. I'm going to go with Megatron. It's just when you get the chance to play as Megs, why wouldn't you?
Hungry for more power, Megatron plans to corrupt the very core of Cybertron itself with Dark Energon. But to do so, he must first find the Omega Key, which will unlock the gateway to the core. Megatron launches a full-scale assault on Iacon, capital city of the Autobots, where the key is protected by Zeta Prime, leader of the Autobots.
Zeta Prime.
Starscream, continue forward and meet Zeta Prime's armies on the front line.
Have no fear, Lord Megatron. Under my leadership, Decepticon victory is assured.
Do not fail me.
Why aren't we joining the main battle, Megatron?
While Starscream attacks Zeta Prime's armies head-on, we shall move behind enemy lines and obtain the Omega Key.
The Omega what?
The Omega Key grants access to the core of Cybertron. Once I have access to the core, I will infuse it with Dark Energon and subject the entire planet's energy supply to my will.
Decepticon intruders! They're inside the city! Autobots!
It's a big face.
Hey, wasn't Starscream supposed to keep these guys occupied?
Even the Autobots aren't foolish enough to leave the stellar galleries undefended. Destroy them!
The Stellar Galleries. So there's stuff down here. Yep. Ah, damn it. Reload. So I was trying to say, I like the idea of how this place looks. So you got fountains, you got giant sculptures. This is a very important place, obviously. They call it the Stellar Galleries. I guess we're a spacefaring civilization, so like, this isn't just like for curiosity's sake that they're mapping the stars. So, oh dear. Come back here. Let me whack ya. Would have thought one would have been enough, but whatever. Oh, here's ammo. I think I need a second gun. Give me a second gun wherever that is. Okay, I think I got everything now. But yeah. Like, it's a giant face. That's probably someone important. You got the winged sentry type things. It's all very... This is a very nicely designed area, even if it looks like it's probably pretty meaningless. Okay. Shotgun. That'll be cool. Yeah, you guys hold the landing pad. But this is exactly what I was talking about in terms of, like, level design. It's like, this is clearly our place. And this is just the entrance, so that's not too much. So we'll see how things continue from here. But this is a good starting point. Oh, there was a thing here.
Another instrument of my wrath.
That can be our backup.
Megatron, sensors indicate Autobot energy signatures nearby.
Where? I don't see anything.
The Autobots are here. No doubt skulking in the shadows.
They're all around us.
Return fire! Destroy anything that moves!
I do not like the stealthy guys. Again, nice big area. They didn't give me flying, so there are like platforms I can't get up to in this one. There was no option to be a flyer. But yeah, again, It's just an entrance area. This is cool. Oh, there's guys with like hammers. Oh, who's yes? Wonder if this is anyone specific. Like, is this Prima in this universe? I don't know. I'd have to look up like the Covenant designs. We'll pull out the Covenant. Okay. So we've gone through the entrance and now we're on some kind of platform? There was probably a road here, but it's gone. Okay.
Energon is proving every bit as formidable as you predicted. The Autobot armies crumble before it.
Excellent, Starscream. Continue engaging them so that I can acquire the Omega Key.
There's something off about that Starscream guy, Megatron. I don't trust him.
Like he's gonna stab you in the back 1,000,000 times each week.
I can blast him, but he shows a rare cunning that I find intriguing.
You trust him as far as you can blast him, so that means you trust him a lot. Like, have you seen your gun? There's a whole thing about you having a giant gun on your arm. I will say, as much as I poo-poo a lot of Transformers Prime... Oh. Okay, so that hurts. Which is weird, because it's a fountain. So you'd think it'd be like water. But... Anyway. But as much as I poo-poo Transformers Prime, how they eventually resolve Starscream's arc in that show, and like, after all the changes and where he ends up at the very end... I think I prefer this, actually.
Patience wears even thinner than my energy levels.
Ah, there we are.
To recharge.
Autobots fall so easy.
Oh, thank you, Starscream.
This fate awaits all who oppose me.
But, yeah. After everything, all the twists and turns, how he ends up and where he ends up, I just, like, that was cool, and I like it. And if this stuff is so dangerous, why are they pouring it everywhere? It's this weird thing about Energon, is simultaneously we eat it, because it's food, it's just water to us, but at the same time it burns like acid, so, like, which is it? What's this? And all that stuff is just a... Ooh. Messes with me. Oh, all that stuff turns on my abilities, doesn't it? Yeah, the sparkles. Okay. Oh, I gotta translate what these signs say, see if they mean anything. Because they've got, like, the translation for all the Cybertronian. He stops being able to do that by the time the show comes around. Haha. Of, like, just being able to hold out his hand and Dark Energon comes out. Maybe he runs out of it in the meantime, kind of thing. But he does use Dark Energon for stuff, but just not in the same way.
Quickly, infuse the batteries with Dark Energon.
Ow.
We gotta turn off these lasers before we all get fried.
Security measures deactivated.
Damage report.
Scans show minimal damage.
Take that. Yeah, I was very happy with the design before, but this is one thing, like an example of why you need to think about it. It's like, why do you have these big spotlights pointed to the underside of a platform? They should be like at the base of a statue, lighting it up, kind of thing. And it's just, here's a big security roomy thing with just a big pillar in it that is kind of not really logically connected with the rest of the environment we go through.
For more strategic slaughter.
Oh, wait. That guy had a name above him. I should have hurt him. You died. That's right. Sorry, you all look the same to me.
And the Omega Key is located just beyond that door.
Excellent. This venture has proven far less taxing than I had anticipated.
Are you serious? I'm feeling pretty taxed myself.
Oh, shut up, Breakdown. What do we got? Stun grenades.
Channel my rage.
Guns. This is like the heavies? Oh no, this is me. Why does it say me? See, this is somebody. But at the bottom of the platform, it's like my data? Weird. Anyway. Use my evil crystal powers. You guys can't do anything without me. Okay, that's cool.
The Autobots maintain these rooms for tranquil contemplation.
Weak.
Tranquil contemplation? What does that even mean?
It means the Autobots laze about and whine over their own inadequacies.
Haha.
What a waste of time and resources. Decepticons, find the Omega Key.
I mean, I'm sorry to say, but like... Oop.
This shall be the downfall of countless Autobots.
This does look like it takes a lot of resources for what could just be like a mobile. A mobile.
Oh, Decepticons, the Omega Key.
Okay, how does this work? Accessing. That's...
That is one empty container.
That's some gribbly nonsense I can respect.
Megatron, I'm warning you right now. You are toying with forces beyond your understanding or control.
Ah, Zeta Prime. I see you're still afraid to face me in person.
Predictable as ever, right down to the empty words. The Omega Key is under my protection now, Megatron.
That is hardly a deterrent. I will enjoy taking the Omega Key from your lifeless hands.
That guy turned into a car. I can't believe it. He's like some kind of change man. A robot that could go places, like some kind of go-bot. Yeah, Megatron shot me like 3 times and just kept missing. And I wasn't even moving. Turns out that guy sucks. Shut up, shut up, shut up! Now I have to destroy the Autobots just so no one knows how much I suck.
Brilliant addition to my efforts.
But yeah, like, this room, it's all kind of fluff, but like, I like the design of it. I love how that machine thingy, the key container opened. I loved all that. Yeah. That's all pretty cool. But, like, it doesn't feel like this place is connected at all with the other rooms that have come before that we've already been through. It's just a room that's kind of meaningless.
Soundwave. Trace Zeta Prime's broadcast signal.
Commencing scan. Complete. Its origin is 12.7 cycles ahead. Scans reveal. Cybertron, the city's subsystems provide a direct line to the broadcast origin.
Like, that's cool animation of them, like, crouching behind stuff and taking cover because, you know, all that. I don't need a neutron assault rifle. I'm pretty happy with my weapons. Recharge my ability, because that's a good one I like. Let me use my fucking giant gun that I just got, please. Don't just give me the gun and then immediately not, like, give me any enemies to fight against.
Send here and have a care. One wrong step and you're scrap metal.
Not that I'm arguing or anything, but why don't we just go back to the dropship and hitch a ride?
This is the shortest distance to travel, Breakdown.
Oh. That was the wrong way.
Subsystems provide a direct line to the broadcast origin.
Now I don't get to use my big gun. Oh well.
Send here and have a care. One wrong step and you're scrap metal.
Not that I'm arguing or anything, but why don't we just go back to the dropship and hitch a ride?
This is the shortest distance to travel, Breakdown.
And I am in a hurry all the time.
Decepticon intruders! Inside the city!
Into the tunnel, Decepticons. And try not to get crushed by the trains.
You're joking, right?
Yes, Breakdown. I am famous for my sparkling sense of humor. Now get moving before I dismantle you myself!
It is good that he is, like, aware. Okay, so his turrets are limited. Oh dear. Ow.
Whoa, watch out!
What the? I always have grenades and I never use them. Okay, so we were in sort of the Astro place, whatever. And we went through tunnels and now we're here? What does that mean? I don't know. It's all just kind of places. No, I prefer this thing. I mean, I prefer the engine pistol, that's right. Yeah, I still prefer engine pistol.
It's no use, Megatron. The door's locked.
A simple solution then. Break the locks.
I was on that side, and now I gotta go all the way back.
Blow open that door.
Like, I do like that. Of, like, you have to find your way around to hit the lock, rather than just, well, just shoot it, and that's the only mechanic.
Move to that exit now.
Megatron?
Quickly, infuse the batteries with dark energon. Hurry, destroy the batteries. Excellent work, Soundwave. Now unlock the exit door.
There's no ammo around? Okay. And by unlock, I mean let me do it.
Move, Decepticons. Double time.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Soundwave, you want a race?
Don't get hit by the train, you fool.
I say what you will about Starscream. He's got infinite ammo in vehicle mode, so what do we have? Like a big gun that can only be shot sometimes.
Station. From there, we can infiltrate the lower levels of Iacom.
What? That's it? I was kind of having fun. In a high-speed, suicidal kind of way.
Okay. The idea that we're still like trying to get behind everything is cool.
Excellent. The Omega Key awaits. Decepticons, ready your weaponry for battle.
What's a logistics station? Is that just a fancy way of saying a train station? Transport hub?
yourself, coward. I marked this area for Dark Energon bombers.
Are you insane? I mean, yes, brilliant, Megatron.
Yes. Drop your bombs on me, but don't hit me, because then I will blame you even though it was my decision, because that's very in character. Can you tell how me and Optimus used to be the bestest of friends? Surely you can be friends with people who are on opposing sides, because politics are meaningless. No reason to judge someone just because one is a fascist dictator who wants to take over the world, and one is supposed to be like if Abraham Lincoln was Jesus
Will be no more than a thick layer
or
of
something.
rubble.
The wreckage is in our way, Megatron.
Megatron is restaged and stable enough to support our weight.
Oh. But yeah. It's like, I do have to read the Skybound comics. I have been collecting them. I have them. I just haven't read them since the first issue. I was kind of turned off by them just killing Bumblebee because it felt just like, this isn't your dad's, like, Transformers.
The train.
I'm just like,
Autobot alive.
eh. But people say it's good. But I'm just like, I don't have it in me to just read, like, everything is miserable all the time pointlessness, where there's no chance for anything good to happen. So, that's my worry with the Energon universe stuff. But I have been collecting it. Weirdly, I've read more Void Rivals just because it all came out before. So a good chunk of it came out before Transformers. And I will say, I do not care about Void Rivals. I don't know, maybe in the last 2 volumes it got good. But, at no point did it establish why I should give a shit, is the thing.
Megatron, I've detected the Omega Key and lies beyond the train tunnel.
Move out, Decepticons.
I should say that, you know, I'm recording this on what for me is the Saturday, but I believe in America this is the Friday. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yes. In America, I believe this is Friday of the Easter weekend. So I want to dedicate this to a great man who sacrificed his life to save all of us from evil. And that man is Prowl. Animated Prowl. Buddy, I know you're out there in the universe somewhere. This is for you.
Stay on the tracks if you want to get smashed to pieces.
I am very funny.
Scans reveal core structural integrity is found in this maintenance access.
Starscream, this is Brawl. We're pinned down outside Zeta Prime's vaults. We need air support.
Excellent. Brawl is already near the Omega Key.
I will say, so Zeta Prime is clearly a take on the type of character that Sentinel Prime. One is clearly Sentinel Prime in Transformers 1 is very clearly like the same character to an extent, especially in terms of design. I think the implication is supposed to be that Zeta Prime in this universe is corrupt, and that's part of the reason why the war starts. But at least in here, we don't really see it, other than he talks down to Megatron a bit, which is like, who cares? Brawn being a badass here for some reason. Yeah, we don't really see, like, actual evidence that there's anything truly wrong with Zeta Prime. Oh dear, I pressed the wrong button. But, I don't know. My point being that, I don't know if... So, Sentinel Prime was, like, originally came up with, I believe, for the Marvel Comics. I think specifically the UK stuff that was exclusive at the time because of how that whole thing was worked. And at the time, it was just they needed a Prime before Optimus because by then the movie had established that's how Prime worked. Like, the movie came up with Rodimus Prime, and so they're like, well, if there's a Prime after Optimus, then there must have been a Prime beforehand, right? And so I think the comics then established that Sentinel Prime was the guy, and that was it. And all we could tell is that, like the other two Primes, he must have been a hero because he was on the good side. And then, like, Animated comes along, and they're like, well, in this universe, Prime doesn't mean the leader. It's instead like, it means you can command others, but you're definitely not in charge. So we'll make it equivalent to, say, Captain. But... Oh, wow. Okay, so we're, like, breaking out, and now we're gonna find our way onto the streets. That I like. But before we go, I just want to finish my thought. My point being that... Yeah, thank you.
Speak with Brawl, then. I want to hear how my war is going.
But,
For your orders, Megatron.
yeah. So, before that,
Another instrument of my wrath.
the idea that, Sentinel Prime was created for that show, because they made the Primes less important, so they're able to do a bunch of different characters that were Prime. Like, I believe Long Arm Prime, like, spoilers, secretly Shockwave was Long Arm, and he was a Prime by the present day. Rodimus Prime was sort of, was contiguous, or sort of chronologically alongside Optimus rather than being his own guy. So there were a lot of Primes, and so Sentinel was able to be a Prime as well. And they needed someone to be a rival character for Optimus, so they used Sentinel as that thing, because even though it's an established name, there isn't really an established characterization at this point to really lean into. At around the same time, like, the 2005 IDW universe was going, and they tried to fill out the backstory by, like, showing corruption on Cybertron. And so to show corruption, they had the previous Primes be fascist tools of authoritarian governments and stuff. And so Sentinel was very overtly a fascist monster. But they also, that was also part of the thing where they established overall, this was the thing I ended up not liking a lot of things, is that for whatever reason, there was the originating, like, the 13, which are sometimes the 13 Primes. And then later on, there's Optimus. But anyone who calls themselves Prime in between is a faker and, like, a pretender. They're not true Primes. So in that universe, the evil fascist Sentinel was not a true Prime. And I think here they've done the same thing of, like, Zeta Prime is, like, Prime in terms of he officially has a title, but he wasn't chosen by the Matrix in the same way. And I'm not a fan of that, because it again leans into the idea that this is not just Transformers about, like, the whole race of Cybertronians and their big armies with many, many, many characters. It's the Optimus Prime and Megatron show, and sometimes Bumblebee as well. As, like, no, Optimus Prime shouldn't be the definitive main character of all of Transformers. It should be that like, it's a team thing. It's like, you don't make Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as the Leonardo movie. You don't make My Little Pony as just Twilight Sparkle the series. Even though that was one of my big complaints about the My Little Pony movie, was that, like, it was leaning so heavily on just being about Twilight. And, like, not everything has to be about Optimus, and making him so chosen one that not only is he chosen by the Matrix, fine, but he's the only guy who's ever been chosen by the Matrix, and also in some universes he's the reincarnation of the lost 13th Prime, and God, there's so much stuff like that. Anyway, because of that, the combination of animated making Sentinel Prime a fascist jerk because it's not that universe, it doesn't mean you're chosen, specially chosen by the Matrix, it's just like a military title that is simultaneously like, if you're kicked out of the military academy in shame and sent to like do the shittiest job ever, as long as you're in charge of a crew, you also have the exact same rank as second in command of the entire Cybertronian military. Which, yeah, they could have put a few more ranks in between, I'm saying, Sentinel and Optimus. But either way, in that universe, Prime doesn't have the high meaning that it does in other universes. So Sentinel can just be a fascist dipshit, and that's, like, okay in the lore of the universe. And then in the IDW comics, they were like, well, he's not a true Prime, he's just the guy who fills that government/military position, whatever, who is a fascist dipshit. And then they went, well, I guess that means all Sentinels are now fascist dipshits or whatever. And Zeta Prime, even though he's called Zeta Prime in this, is supposed to also be Sentinel. He's called Sentinel in the novel, and that Sentinel Zeta Prime is like his official full name, I guess. But like, he's supposedly that. I don't recall him acting like a fascist dipshit in the game, but we'll see. But like, that is kind of what led to his characterization in 1. And honestly, I'm not a fan of that take. I would always prefer the idea that the Matrix has chosen plenty of primes before, and they all have sort of their own story. Maybe they're not all perfect. None of them should be perfect. Even Optimus shouldn't be perfect. The idea being that they're just like the hero of the day. Like what Avatar does. Is like Roku's opinions and Kyoshi's opinions on how to deal with stuff in the present do not always match, because they are people of the past who lived in different cultures, in different times, in different contexts. And that's one of the reasons why the Avatar must reincarnate, is so they can grow up in the present day and figure out how the world works now and deal with problems as are appropriate for the time and the culture they're in. While they can rely on the wisdom of their elders, they shouldn't just default to their problem solving. And because of that, every Avatar is both a hero, but also inherently flawed, and because they're still characters. And I feel like that's what they should have done for Primes, but instead they just put hit the big, there are no Primes until Optimus button, and I do not like that. And 1 making that so mainstream by putting it in the movies disappointed me so much. And I really hope that, like, we break away from things going forward. We did break away from the Allspark in 1 at least, so there's potential for changing and shaking things up. Speaking of the Allspark, it hasn't come up in this game. And weirdly, despite Align trying to really hew close to sort of the definitive take on what the backstory for the universe is, Aligned will kind of only later retcon in the Allspark later on in, like, after a bit in Prime. Not initially. Which I found interesting. I still would have preferred the Allspark be more just the name for the afterlife and not a big glowy device that, like, is important. But, I don't know. We'll deal with it. But yeah, okay, that's my blabbing for 20 minutes about nothing. Let's get down to... So yeah, the idea that, like, okay, we broke through the tunnels in order to get behind enemy lines to join the main attack force from back is cool. I like that. And now we're in sort of, this is a street, I guess? So that's all cool. Now we gotta talk to Brawl about what's going on.
Lord Megatron, report, Brawl. The Autobots are dug in, and our precious air commander won't provide support. Enough excuses. Where is Zeta Prime? He's just beyond those doors, Lord Megatron.
Lord Megatron.
Witness the power of Dark Energon.
I wish I had magic powers when the show came.
It will take more than a speck of dark energon to breach the armor of our bots. Surrender now, Megatron, and I will consider sparing your life.
You dare threaten me?
Me!
Megatron,
Look at my wiggly back.
your own futility.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Brawl! Call in the Dark Energon bombers! But, Megatron, there's too much firepower. Do as I have ordered, Brawl! Yes, Megatron. Bomber, target these coordinates. Everyone else, clear the street! Look! It's Megatron! About time. Why'd he show up so late?
Shut up.
Bombers, inbound!
Okay. So this is all tactical stuff I really like. Is like, we need the bombers to open the vault door, but we can't do that because of the air support. Not air support, the air defenses.
Bombers are incompetent.
Anti-air.
If I may make a suggestion, disabling the anti-aircraft guns would open the way for our air support.
Yeah.
An excellent thought, Brawl. Carry it out. Decepticons, take those guns!
Like, that's all cool. I like that. Of like, both sides have goals and obstacles that they need to deal with. We have to make our way up the street using wreckages as cover. This is all cool. This is so far the coolest level, and I spent like a good 20 minutes just standing there babbling.
No one turns back. Destroy those guns by any means necessary. You heard, Lord Megatron. Decepticons, lay down cover fire while we take that building. Go, go, go!
The building. In good Transformers tradition. Buildings. If you haven't, you guys should check out Few's was it Few Adams does toy reviews, and he is like the best guy at doing Transformers reviews. Like, straight up. There are no better. He is the best. I would highly recommend checking out his stuff. And I love when he did a review of one of the movie Ironhides, I don't remember which one, him talking about like the building always got stuck in my head because I hadn't really noticed it before, but it was fun.
Cybertron!
But yeah, I finally got to use the big one.
The code activity must be reported immediately. What is Decepticon? Shot on sight. Report about it. Boss, this is the problem. The code activity.
There, the gun controls.
Turn off the anti-aircraft. There it is.
Takes one gun to blow up the other.
Uh-huh.
The controls are overloaded.
Move, Decepticons!
And I love how we had to make our way around because all the defensive turrets.
That almost punched our tickets. I thought Dark Energon was on our side.
Brawl! Call in the bombers! Transmitting the coordinates.
Brawl, this is Starscream. Your request is denied. I won't have you wasting more of my ships.
I see. When did they become your ship, Starscream?
Oh, Lord Megatron. I didn't realize you were there. Air support request approved. But it will be a few cycles before the bombers can reach you. I'm afraid you'll just have to be patient.
We've got Autobot reinforcements headed our way! I shall make you pay for this, Starscream. Decepticons, hold your positions until the bombers arrive.
And now we get the defensive turrets, so that's all cool.
This will increase my damage exponentially.
The Autobots think they can snipe us from the bridge. Show them their error.
Oh.
That's it? We beat him?
No. There's no way the Autobots would give up that easily. Agreed, Brawl. Everyone, hold fast and stay alert.
On the roof over there! More Autobots! Initiating weapon cooling!
Another one! They're firing from the windows!
Yeah.
Suitable weapon for one such as Megatron! Fall before Megatron!
The Autobots just keep coming! Aerial bots coming in fast! Blast those Autobot jump keeps on the bridge! Weapons overheated! We're gonna get slaughtered!
Stop your whining, Breakdown, or I'll stop it for you! They're coming from all directions!
Megatron, they're everywhere! What do we do?
We hold them off! The bombers will clear the street when they arrive. Rely on that.
Heads up! Decepticons! Weapon time!
they managed to make it that it's ended up kind of overwhelming, even with like access to all the turrets.
The street looks clear, Megatron. That should have blown the vault doors clear off.
Good. Brawl. Remain here and hold this position. The rest of us will move forward and acquire the Omega Key.
Engaging Decepticons at the Iacon Vault.
Fall back! Fall back!
Big guy. See, when are we getting these guys in Age of Primes, I guess, or Studio Series?
Split up and flank him. Use the debris for cover.
Come and get me, you oversized rust bucket!
The tank scan is still fully operational. Megatron, the tech has been rendered non-functional.
You see that? I did that. All me.
Onward, Decepticons! Into the vaults!
A tank. Okay.
Perfect.
It's weird sometimes when he uses his powers, and other times it's just plant a pack or whatever.
Megatron. You are a persistent one. But breaking into my vaults, you overstepped yourself.
I won't waste words with you, Zeta Prime. Give me the Omega Key, and I may spare what's left of your city.
Wait, where do we go? Oh, I see. Haha.
The Omega Key will never be yours, Megatron.
I look forward to debating that with you in person.
Lord Megatron, help!
Zeta's got one of our guys trapped! Look at that floor! What's Zeta up to?
Hey, I'm still functional. I'm still...
Idiot. Decepticons, onward!
You cannot hope to overcome my defenses, Megatron.
Your pathetic machinery won't stop me, Zeta Prime. Megatron, beware. Zeta's machinery.
Yeah. This is a really difficult puzzle.
Come no further, Megatron. The sacred vaults are no place for your tainted spark.
Nothing is sacred to me, Zeta Prime. You should have realized that by now. Decepticons, advance!
Yeah, he doesn't even respect the sacred vaults. Okay.
Finally, the Omega Key.
Is it the key that makes them sacred, or is there some other stuff?
Did you really think it would be that easy? Come down here, Zeta Prime, and I will give you the answer. I shall remain where I am. This vantage point will provide an excellent view of your destruction.
Okay, big boss fight.
Controls this entire chamber, Megatron. I need only close my hand to crush the life out of you.
Then do it.
The floor is glowing. It's
Oh dear.
everywhere. He's gonna smash us.
There's got to be some other trick I'm not seeing.
Blasting his shield won't work.
You see now, Megatron? This is my domain. Your theatrics don't frighten me, Zeta. Here I have the power to control and create.
Oh yeah, the weird holographic soldiers. Yeah, that was always cool.
Is that all, Zeta? A pathetic army of Energon clones? Is that the best you can do? You have no idea! Here, I have limitless power!
Megatron, we may be able to damage Zeta's machinery during its recharge cycle.
A valiant attempt, Decepticons! But Autobot machinery is more resilient than you realize.
Ceiling's coming down. Get away from the mashers.
So who are the Autobots other than just not the Decepticons? Like, it's gonna mean something, right? Like, the Decepticons are the ones who follow Megatron, but the Autobots are just the actual government, I guess? The actual status quo is Autobot, as opposed to the Cybertronians? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. But at the moment, all I know is, like, Zeta Prime calls himself an Autobot. He says the machinery is Autobot machinery.
He's recharging! Fire at the core! Ha! Your weapons are useless! Your machine is failing, Zeta Prime. Where are your boasts now? The battle is far from over, Decepticon!
You should stop loading your holograms with power-ups
Coming down.
and like armor.
From the mashers.
More Zeta clones! Destroy them!
And we did it.
Finish it. The Omega Key is mine. The core of Cybertron is mine. Your spies were misinformed, Megatron. That device only activates the key to the core. But don't worry, the Omega Key will come to you. Omega activated. Power optimal. Mission: destroy Megatron.
Okay, so that was fun. I'm gonna wrap it up today. I think I had a lot more fun. I am gonna play more tomorrow, same time. So if you're interested, we'll see you then. Otherwise, thank you for all this. It will be interesting to see how things develop over the coming however long. But I do want to keep this up. And so to clarify what the whole project is it's not just going to be the games, which I need to figure out how I'm going to record like Rise of the Darkspark. Whether I'm going to have to do that as a ROM or figure out how to connect to the PS5. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Either way, it's not just going to be the games. The whole idea is to go through the entire Aligned universe. That's the novels, the various comics, of which there are the weird ones in like the magazines, of which I got a bunch of scans. I'll have to figure out what's what. And so there are the scans. There are the the magazine comics, the IDW comics, the various shows, the novels, as I said, and just like everything. And there's even like I think a couple of script readings from like fun publications. So there's a lot I need to go through and to see how all this develops and to analyze what I do actually find I like about it. And so far, like the idea of like a goofy just war story type with a lot of explosions and like cartoony characters shouting at each other of that this game has presented has been perfectly fine. I'm not really that interested in this take on the quote-unquote lore, but just the presentation as just a fun, goofy shoot-'em-up is fun. It's trying to make a whole universe out of it that I feel is where the problem arises. But we'll see how things go when we get to the various continuations from here. So thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.